One of these days, I'm going to secretly record you mouthing the words to our intro.
I'm not making this up. That is my favorite song, I think.
It's so good.
It's like
he did so amazing.
Yeah, he did amazing. So I like that's fine. You can record me all you want because I freaking love the intro. And it's weird because like it's like I didn't write it.
Yeah.
I didn't play it. I didn't make it. But it's like our thing.
Yeah.
It's our like life theme. Like somebody wrote like that's. I feel like that. I'm gonna figure out a way to send that to every club, and like that's gonna be my walk-up music.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, it's such a good.
That's good.
It's such a good tune, dude. Like
Yeah.
I love it so much. And for those of you who also like it, that's from my brother Michael Rubadue.
Yeah.
All right, so like go check him out. The link is in the podcast notes to his music. Like, man, I just love it. That song pumps me up. That song like really like he did such a good job of it. And we talk about this a lot, but I don't care. I will always build that dude up because that song is dope.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, this is an episode.
Yeah.
It's, it's a show that we do called Laugh and Be Blessed. If you didn't get that from before, whenever a good friend of mine was yelling it into your ears with the voice of 1,000 angels.
Or when you clicked on the podcast.
And you seen it.
And the title
Maybe they
there.
didn't know. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
What if somebody was kidnapped and they're just like in a cell somewhere and the kidnappers are playing this to them and they're just like, you'll go crazy. We're going to play all the episodes. And they're like, what is this? And so he's laugh and be blessed. And they're just like, why are you blessing me after you kidnapped me? And they're like, I know. That's how I'm messing with your mind, bro. And we're really getting him. So thanks for joining us for another episode. Probably going to be a weird episode.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. When isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, what a dumb thing to say.
They're all like,
They're like, oh, it's going to be weird? Yeah, never had that before on this show. So, yeah, thank you for being here. Oh, thank you for that. Tilt your mic just up a little. Yep, that should be good.
Okay.
So, yeah, thank you for being here. I'm Jake Rubel, joined, as always, by the handsomest of all gals, Chia Rubel, my blushing bride.
hello.
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 Hello. Hello. It's like the Earth doesn't have a phone. They're not going. Hello. Oh snap! Oh man. Okay, so here's the deal. It is as always 1:30 in the morning. It's always very early whenever we do these, or late, whatever you want to say. I don't care. We just finished like a 10-hour drive.
Like, we came home, put our stuff down.
Yeah, it's all over. Like, we haven't unpacked. It's all in our bag.
Jake set up the podcast stuff while I took out the trash, and now we're talking to you.
You took out the trash?
You helped me take it down, yes.
I carried out 3 trash bags.
Okay. All right. But I gathered all the trash in the house.
I'm just saying that I did my job and a part of yours.
Okay.
And not that that's not weird. It's not your job to take out the trash. You know, I'm like, listen, you're gonna pay all the bills. You're gonna take out the trash.
Oh well.
Yeah. That's something that I kind of like about us, though. And we don't really talk about this very often, but we don't have like assigned roles in our house.
We don't have gender roles.
It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
You're so rad.
Just
dude.
someone do it.
Just get it. Like, neither one of us want to do it.
No.
But it has to be done, so just someone do it.
Here's the thing.
There's a couple things. I will say this. I will cut you right off. And I will say there's a couple things that it's not like assigned, but I just noticed that one of us does it more.
Okay.
The main thing is the trash in the garage.
Yeah.
I bet 9.87 times out of 10, you take that out.
I don't understand how you can handle that, but it's fine. It just overflows.
I don't know.
And it's mainly trash from us.
It's almost 100% from our bedroom.
And I'm just like, what in the world? And it's one of those like tall kitchen trash cans.
Yeah, and I will overflow that thing.
So
I will overflow it so much that then I'll take a grocery bag and just put next to it and start filling that one up.
I noticed.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
I don't either.
It's not even that big of a deal.
I don't either.
Sometimes
and that area looks so nice when you clean it up.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'll be walking like into our room and I'll just see all that trash and I'm like, all right, I'm going to take that out in a second. And then I just don't.
But that's why, so the day to take the trash down is Sunday nights. That's why I'm always like, trying to run around the house, and I go to the bathroom trash and that trash. I try to gather all of it up. So really, if it just once a week.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we do it. I'm just saying.
I never understood the whole like the man has to take out the trash thing, because not all the time, but a lot of women spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, like if we split that role between us, I'm in the kitchen way more than you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But back when I used to be, if I'm doing the majority of the cooking,
right,
and I'm cleaning the kitchen as I cook, and I fill the trash can up.
See, I don't like where this is going, because I just said that I'm in the kitchen the majority of the time, and you're saying that you're taking the trash out now, and I see where you're going with this.
I didn't even mean to.
Yeah, what's happening is it turns out that I'm just always a piece of garbage.
I'm just saying, like, to me, that was part of cleaning up after myself. So
Right.
I've never been like, are you going to take the trash out? Because I'd be like, what, am I just going to let it overflow and wait till he gets off work? And then be like, you worked all day. Go grab that trash that I walked by 500 times.
But again, I feel like you're just you're like subtly being like, you do it now. Like, let's switch.
It takes 5 seconds.
Well, the thing about taking the trash down, though, like, we have a not like a super long driveway, but we have a pretty long driveway, and we have 2 trash cans because our family is just pigs. We have so much trash. So we have to take 2 trash cans, large ones, all the way down this driveway, and it's on Sunday night. And most weekends, at least for the last few months, I'm not home on Sunday night, or I get home at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday night. And a lot of times, like, if I get home super early on Sunday and you're in bed, I'm getting in that bed as soon as I get home. Or if I get home and you're at work, I'm getting in that bed. It turns out the factor doesn't matter if you're in it or not. I'm gonna get in it. Like, I wanted to make it sound sweet and just be like, I'm laying down.
You tried to get on the podcast tonight.
No, you fell asleep in the car, and
and you tried to use that as an excuse, and I told you, no, I was trying to sleep.
Don't turn my friends against me. Don't you
We
dare.
know they're my friends.
Yeah, well, that's a fact, actually. So, we just got back from Minnesota.
Sorry.
Did you notice any of the people in Minnesota talking?
Yes, I did.
So I didn't catch any like deep Minnesotian accent.
I did a few times.
The last time I was there, I went to a game store, and I walk in this game store, and the person working was like maybe like 20, 21, like somewhere very young. Like purple hair, was like a mohawk. She was covered in tattoos and everything. Like, just looked like, just a hip young lady. And then as soon as I walk in the store, she goes, "Oh, hey there, hon. How can I help you there?" Like that, and I was just like, "This does one of these things is not like the other." It threw me off. I will say this about, because you just disagreed with this. It is not cold in Indiana.
So maybe it's because I was only going from a warm building to a warm car, and like I just spent time outside taking the trash down and everything. But that's what I was going to say. This is the most northern I've ever been. And we decided to go in February.
We didn't decide to go.
Well, we went, and I think the warmest it ever was there was maybe 9 degrees. One morning it was -8.
Yeah. It was so cold.
I don't like the cold. Absolutely despise it. I love Minnesota.
Minnesota is cool.
Minneapolis area was great. Oddly enough, the little suburb area we were in was Bloomington, which if you don't know us...
You say little suburb?
Okay, it wasn't. That's where...
89,000 is the population.
But if you don't know us, the town we live in is right next to Bloomington, Indiana. So it's like we went from Bloomington to Bloomington.
Yeah.
But we went to the Mall of America, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then the show that Jake performed at the Gutties in Minnesota, it's at another mall. They recognize that it is cold there, and every building you go into is instantly warm.
Well, not only that, there's a mall on, like, I always make fun of the fact that Minnesota's like the land of malls. Mm-hmm. There's malls everywhere.
Yeah.
The only thing really, from what I've gathered so far, the only things in Minnesota are lakes, malls, and prints.
So apparently when it's warm, you go to the lake. And when it's cold, you go to the mall.
Yeah, so we're going to go back in a few months whenever it's warm.
And more prepared, because I knew the Mall of America was the biggest mall in America.
Right.
Totally knew that.
I don't know if it still is.
Yeah.
I feel like
You should look it up.
Keep talking.
But again, I live right next to Bloomington. They have the College Mall. I've only been to a couple other malls, maybe a few slightly bigger than that. So, in my mind, this is going to be a couple stories tall, maybe, a little bit longer and wider than what I'm used to. Holy cow, this thing is 4 stories tall. It has an inside theme park, a Nickelodeon theme park.
Yeah.
It has
hold on, don't just pass over that. She says theme park, and she means it. There's like, what?
There's roller coasters.
2 or 3 roller coasters.
There's a log ride there.
Yeah.
and people were riding it.
People were on
in
the
their
log.
hoodies.
Yeah, and I'm like, you have to go outside sometime.
I guess they planned on warming up, which you probably could have.
It is not the largest mall, just so you know.
Where's the largest
The
now?
largest mall now is in Philadelphia.
Oh.
It's King of Prussia. The King of Prussia Mall is what it says.
Well, I guess we'll have to go there. Is there a theme park in there?
It's got 450 stores.
Okay. How many does Mall of America have? But the other things, so if you plan on going to Mall of America, be more prepared, because I felt like I disappointed my kids a lot.
Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. So, according to Wikipedia,
Yeah.
the Mall of America is the largest.
Yeah.
Because it's got 555 stores.
Yeah.
And then something called the American Dream in New York City is the next one. And then it's the Philadelphia Mall. So I don't know.
I wonder if maybe it's a square footage thing or something.
I don't know, but the one in Philadelphia opened in 1963. The Mall of America, 1992.
Maybe that's why. Maybe it was the biggest Intel Mall of America.
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyways, so I felt like it disappointed my kids a lot because I didn't realize there was attractions in this mall. So I'm going to give you all a heads up. The theme park. For a wristband, it's about $45. For a 2-day wristband, it's like $55. Did I say that weird?
Sure. Wristband.
Wristband. Now you're making fun of my accent.
I mean, people make fun of mine.
So, and I didn't do any of the attractions because it would have been so much money for all 3 of my kids and me if I wanted to join in.
You didn't do any attractions?
No.
No tractions.
No attractions.
Okay.
Shut up. The aquarium is $30 per person. See, you did notice the accents in Minnesota because now you're pointing mine out more.
Tractions. Oh, gosh, I'm about to have the baby. I'm having some tractions. Someone call the doctor in. I'm having tractions.
Shut up.
All right.
There's the Crayola Experience. There's a huge Crayola store. It's super cool, but there's some experience you can do where I guess you get a play with the colors and all kinds of stuff. I don't know, but it was like $30 per person. There was something else too. Oh, an arcade. There's 2 arcades there.
Yeah.
Same for, a bunch of tickets and points. It's like $50 per person. So if you plan on going, other than just shopping money, take money for all that stuff too.
Take some more money. There's also a comedy club.
Yes.
That's in there. We didn't check that out,
Yeah.
but there's a comedy club, and I think Mike Brody, I don't know if he runs it or he books it or what, but he's a comedian I've worked with in the past, and he's very funny, so.
And so much food to choose from. I mean, you got like your normal food court places, but then you have whole restaurants.
Yeah.
Whole entire restaurants. You got bubblegum shrimp. You got Margaritaville.
Have you ever been to
No.
Me neither. We need to check that out.
Margaritaville's there. We ate at...
If anybody's been to Bubblegum Shrimp...
Yeah, let us know how it is.
Yeah, go to our Facebook page and let us know.
We ate at the Rainforest Cafe.
That's the last time I think I'm going to eat there.
Yeah, it wasn't that great of an experience. I think we usually have a better experience because it's up to Disney standards.
But the thing is, it's too much money.
Yeah.
It's not... like, you're paying so much for the experience...
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, like, now that we've been there so many times, it's just not worth it,
Yeah.
I feel like. It's like, let's just go eat and get out.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids are getting too big to be able to do stuff like that. It's like, it's expensive.
Yeah. There's stores of brands that I didn't know had their own store. Like, there's a Nike store. I've never seen a Nike store.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've just seen shoe stores that have Nikes in them, but not a Nike store.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And, yeah, so it was very, very cool. We had a lot of fun. We walked around a lot. But again, I felt like I disappointed the kids a lot because I kept saying no.
I mean, I think that's your mom guilt kicking in. Like, the reason I say that is because we were in a toy store and Roman wanted something, and Chia was getting like overwhelmed because the kids were like, "Can I get this? Can I get this?" And we were spending not a ton of money, but I'm like, we were buying stuff, and they were like, "Can I get this? Can I get this?" And Chia was getting overwhelmed, and I looked at him and was like, "Hey, mom's off duty." I was like, "Come to me. If you want something, you come talk to me. Don't talk to mom about it for the rest of the day. She's off duty." Which, just to throw out there, any parents, like, if you're co-parenting together, that was a weird way of saying it, but if, like, you're together and you're parenting, and it's okay if one of the parents is getting stressed out.
Yeah.
And I think that we have to be better at just reading our whoever whoever it is, just read them and be like, if they're getting stressed out or overwhelmed in certain situations, step in for a minute and give them a break. Like, we do that with each other all the time, and it's super, super important. And
in this case, the reason the kids were asking me and not you at all is because I am the money manager of the family, so you're used to saying, ask your mom.
Sure.
So now that's what they're used to.
Yeah, which is totally fine, but like, she was just getting super overwhelmed, so I was just like, hey, just come to me, ask me, and we'll go from there. And then Roman was just like, well, can I get this? And I was like, no. And he's just like, why? And I said, well, you just got something at the other store, and I know you, and you don't really want this. You just want to spend money. And he's like, well, yeah, I'm spoiled. And I was like, well, if you are spoiled, you just ruined it.
What else did he say when you said that? Because didn't he say, yeah, I'm spoiled because you buy me whatever I want?
He's like, yeah, I'm spoiled, you buy me whatever. Which is not true.
No.
We tell them no all the time, and I don't know where. But also, Roman is weird and, like, tries to be funny. Like, he does bits sometimes. Like, he will become, like, a different kid sometimes to be funny. And I don't know if he was trying to be like a rich kid bit, if he was just like, I get whatever I want. But I was like, dude, if you think that's true, and if it is true, you just ruined it by saying it, because now I'm going to be harder on you, so you're not spoiled.
Well, we've also discovered our kids aren't very sneaky, so...
Oh my God, we have the dumbest kids in the world. Jasmine got in trouble, it was like the day or the 2 days before we left or something last week. She got in trouble because her room's disgusting. And I don't understand this. Like, we have 2 boys and 1 girl, and the boys' room is never, like, clean, but it's not disgusting. Her room is just, like, in Star Wars, when they go down the trash chute, and there's
where you were going.
and there's like, and the walls are closing in, and there's an alien living down there. That's Jasmine's room, and I think she's that weird alien. You know, it's so bad. It's disgusting. Yeah. So I was just like, look, you just have to clean your room. I was like, you just have to clean your room. And it's every single day for 2 weeks. I was telling her, clean your room. And I'm a pushover. I know I'm a pushover, especially with her. I get it. She was my first kid. She's my only daughter. She knows how to get her way with me more than she should. But I'm also not stupid. So, like, she wasn't cleaning her room every day. I promised I'm going to clean it, but I couldn't because I had to do this or I had to do that.
Or she blames it on the cat.
She blames it on the cat. She's like, well, Alice did. And I'm like, your cat doesn't have thumbs. Like, there's no way he did all this. So, anyways, she every single day, I promise. So I went in there and I knew we were going to leave, and I'm like, I don't want to leave with her room looking like this, because usually what happens is that we leave, your mom gets in like the house is like completely to herself. She starts cleaning stuff, and without even thinking, she'll go in and just like clean the kids' rooms, which is nice, and I get what she's doing.
But that's not her job.
It's not her job, and I don't like that she does that.
And I actually think that's part of the reason why the kids, especially Jasmine, let their room get so disgusting.
Because she knows Nana eventually will
because
clean it.
I literally caught my mom, and I will walk in there and I'll be like, put it down. And my mom looks at me and she's like, I'm sorry. And I was like, this is not your job.
And she's not doing it like no one else is going to do it.
No.
She's just trying to be Nana. Like and it's fine. I get it. And I feel all the time like she's in such a weird position.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to be Nana, but she's also the third adult in the house. Yeah. Like, we've made it to where it's like a very, like, utopian house. Like, everybody's everybody here. Like, no one's like the leader.
Yeah.
We just all like coexist together. But it's got to be weird for her sometimes to like not just be able to be Nana.
And these are some of the conflicts with a multi-generational house where it's absolutely wonderful having my mom here, but like you said, she's still Nana. And for those people who want to be like, oh, set boundaries, that's not what it's about. She's not overstepping our boundaries.
No.
Her Nana mode kicks in, and she's like, oh, I'm going to pick up after the kids and take care of the kids. But literally, when I look at her, I say, get out of there. Do not clean their room. That is their job.
Yeah.
She immediately gets out and then looks at the kids and be like, listen to your mom.
Yeah, it's definitely just, it's just a weird, like, we understand that she's in a weird position. But anyways, so Jasmine's room's disgusting. I go in there and I just lose it. I'm like, listen, you've lied to me for 2 weeks now. You keep saying you're going to clean it, and you literally have said, I promise tomorrow I'll clean it, and you're not, which means you're a liar. I was like, and I don't like liars. I was like, in this family, like, the one thing that we really, really pride ourselves in is that we're just honest about stuff. Like, we're honest about our feelings. If something's bothering us, we let each other know. And I was like, so you're lying to me, and I can't have that. So I was like, so I need you to clean your room. And she's like, okay. And then she just didn't get out of bed. So I snatched her tablet, her Nintendo Switch. I grabbed the remote to her TV. I would have grabbed her phone, but it was lost in the room somewhere. So I was like, as soon as you find that, you give it to me. But I brought all her stuff in the bedroom. And I told her, I was like, until I feel like I can trust you, you're not going to get your stuff. So I come in here and I lay down. I'm in my filthy room. But I came in here, and then, like, you know, an hour or two later, she comes in, and she's crying, of course, and she's like, I'm really sorry I let you down. And it was sincere. Like, she really felt bad that she let me down. She lied to me. And she took her tablet and was like, do you want me to shut my alarm off because it's going to wake you up in the morning? And I was like, oh, yes. Like, I don't want that to happen. Don't wake me up in the morning. And I said, is that how you wake up? And she said, yeah, I set my alarm so that way I can get up and get ready for school. I was like, well, you could take your tablet back in there, but you can't get on it. It's just your alarm. And her room was
clean at this point, right?
Her room was clean. So I was like, go ahead and take it back in there. Since you clean your room, you can have that back. I was like, but you can't get on it. It's just your alarm clock. And then I was like, and we'll discuss when you can get back on it. Which I knew I was going to let her back on it since we went on the trip, because in the car, like, that's right. That's a safe. People are like, kids have too much time on screens, and I'm like, take a 10-hour car trip with them, and you're here's the screen. But anyway, so she takes the tablet in again. She's like, okay, I won't get on it, and I'm like, all right, it's just your alarm. She takes it in there, and I swear, 5 minutes later, she liked a TikTok video of mine. So I was like, I got a notification on my phone that she liked my TikTok video. I was like, you're the dumbest kid in the world. Yeah. And as soon as I opened her door to go in there, she just looked at me and her eyes got big. She was like, oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah. I was like, how stupid can you be?
Yeah. So then she had to delete TikTok until we left.
Which she doesn't, just so everyone knows, she doesn't post on TikTok or anything. Yeah. She has TikTok because if she doesn't, she's going to watch the video somewhere else.
On
and
YouTube
at least
or something,
I can monitor this. I can look at what she's looking at. She's not allowed to post anything. So, and I'm not a good parent, so who cares?
Well, and this stupid behavior has gone back. It's not like they're recently telling on themselves. They've been telling on themselves for years, and we keep trying to make them stop. I've even pointed out, like, we would put them to bed, 6, 7, 8 years old, whatever. Put them to bed. And then, like, 2 hours later, one of them will come down and be like, hey, are we allowed to watch this? And I'm like, guess what? I didn't even know you had the TV on. Now I do.
Yeah,
and
idiot.
I would, after a while, point out, I'd be like, you realize I wasn't going to come check? I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's part of me that's, like, happy that they're so honest about everything. Because, like I just said, honesty is a big thing. And it's such a weird thing because it's like we want them to be, like, smarter at stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's such a weird thing to try to kind of teach your kids to be sneaky.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
or
wait.
Like, I want them to band together a little bit more, like, because another thing they would do is be like, I was watching this, and Holden or Jasmine or Roman, whoever it was, took the remote and changed it, and I'm like, you're all supposed to be asleep.
Yeah,
so
idiots.
By telling on your sibling, you just told on yourself.
Yeah, so stupid. So.
And I didn't do that. I can remember Mom watching movies I wasn't allowed to watch, and she'd be watching them downstairs, so I would lay flat on the upstairs landing and peek my eyes through the bars and barely breathe. She might have known I was there.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell on myself.
Our couch faced a TV, and there was a hallway to the left of it, and that's where my bedroom was. And I would come out of my bedroom and crawl on the floor and sit next to the couch and watch the movies.
Yeah.
Until I was like 8.
And they might have known you were there. But the thing is you weren't telling on yourself. As long as you kept your mouth shut, your parents were probably like, just don't even acknowledge he's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
But if you would have said something, then you would have been in trouble.
Well, Mom probably knows. I don't know if Dad... They were high.
Yeah.
They didn't know I was there. They're just like, did you hear something? What was that? Jeez. Yes. Another cool thing happened while we were in Minnesota. So we'll keep talking about that. So okay, let's finish the Mall of America thing.
Yes.
So the thing that I didn't... So we like malls a lot.
Yes.
We like shopping.
Yes.
But what I've noticed here lately is I don't like it as much as I used to because I don't like buying new things that much.
Yeah.
I like buying used stuff.
Oh, they had a Barnes & Noble there.
Yeah, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
They had a huge graphic novel section at Barnes & Noble. Yeah. I didn't buy a single thing.
You didn't even go in the board game store.
No.
There's a big one there.
Because you know, I'm like, I'm going to go do a little rescuing.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, there was just, I actually didn't know there was a big board game store there. What was it called, though?
I don't remember now. We found it later.
All right. So, I don't know. It's cool, and, like, we're going to go back. So, the reason we were there is because I was headlining Gutty's Comedy Club.
Yeah. Second weekend in a row.
It was a lot of fun. It really was. There was... about the same amount of people that was at the ones in Indiana, which was cool, showed up for. The crowd was great, though. Like, everybody was so nice. It was really, really cool. We had a lot of fun. Kyle Yamada runs that one over there. Steve still owns it, but Kyle runs it and is doing great. Like, it was just very good time. So, and our hotel was across the street from the Mall of America.
Yeah.
So, but it was so cold, I Ubered us to
that first day. Yeah.
Literally Ubered us across the street because
Yeah.
I was like, we're not walking.
Yeah.
It's so cold.
And we didn't want to park our car in the garage and have to walk to the doors.
That. So, well, the first night at Gutty's, the guy that was featuring for me was talking with me and had said something about Dusty Slay. And I was like, yeah, Dusty's one of my buddies. And he's like, he's in town this weekend, isn't he? And I was like, oh, I don't know, man. I've not talked to him about shows for a while. He's like, yeah, I think he's in St. Paul, which is right next to Minneapolis. It's like 20 minutes away. So I sent Dusty a text and was like, dude, are you in Minnesota right now? And he's like, yeah, man, I got a show here. And I was like, yeah, I'm here too. And he's like, oh, for real? Where are you staying? I was like, right across from the Mall of America. He's like, that's like 15 minutes from me. I was like, all right, cool. Well, let's talk tomorrow. Like, if you're free and I'm free, you know, maybe we should grab some lunch. So went and got lunch with Dusty the next day and just hung out for a little bit. But what's funny is I go to pick him up at his hotel because he didn't have a car because he flew in and then Ubered from the airport to his hotel. And I went and picked him up so we can go get lunch. He comes out with like this huge coat. He hates the cold too. Like he was like, dude, this is too cold. I'm like, he almost was like, I don't even know if I want to go out. Like, it's just too cold. But he comes out in like this huge parka and he gets in the car and we drive to the restaurant and we get out, and again, he's wearing this coat as we go in. And I'm wearing like a flannel and then my blue vest, like normal, right? So we go and we sit down. He takes his coat off, And then the waitress comes over, and as soon as the waitress comes over, she's like, "Oh man, I dig your guys' vibe. Like you guys are a full vibe right now." And we were like, "All right, cool, thanks." And she's like, "You got like the matching clothes and everything." And then like we looked at each other, and he was wearing a blue vest and a flannel too, and we just started laughing. And it was like we never planned this, but it happens a lot. So, but man, it was so cool just to hang out with him for a little bit, because I love the fact, and I know I've talked about it before, but I love the fact that when I first started comedy, like, he was my favorite comedian, and he still really is. He's still my favorite comedian, but now he's also my friend.
Yeah.
Like, it was just cool to be like, oh yeah, my favorite comedian and friend is in town. I'm gonna go hang out with him. Like, it was just cool. So, we hung out for a little bit, and then he had 2 shows. So he had like an early show and a late show, and I only had 1 show. So once I got done with my show Saturday night, I took Chia and the kids back to the hotel, dropped them off, and then I went and caught his late show and hung out with him a little bit. So yeah, that was cool. It was just, the whole trip was good.
It was good.
It was just one of those deals where like, we didn't have enough time.
No. And I didn't know enough. Like I said, I didn't research what was at the mall because it was a mall, and I didn't think it was necessary.
Yeah, but I talked to Kyle at Gutty's, and I was like, "Hey man, do you care if you have me back in like just a few months or so?" And he just kind of looked at me like, "You're like what?" And I was like, "I'll feature. Like, I don't have to headline it, but we want to plan a trip and come back and like actually budget and plan to come and like really check out the Mall of America."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, cool." And I told him, I was like, "Well, I have some new stuff I'm trying to work out, so if I could just come do like a new set as a feature, I would be down to do that." And he was like, "Yes, absolutely." So we're going to go back in a few months and actually be able to, so we'll probably like stay like come a day early and then stay a day late.
Yeah, I think that would work.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah. So, speaking of like going and being places, I guess I should talk a little bit about upcoming shows.
Yes.
So, very rare thing this weekend, nothing. Did you know that? I'm home this weekend.
Wow.
I say rare thing as if this has like been the last 5 years, but it's been a while.
Dude.
So, what? What are you looking at? You can't just say dude and then not talk.
Oh, I do work this weekend. Never mind. For a minute, I thought I didn't. But I don't work Friday night, so...
Yeah, I seen that, so... Maybe we could do a date. That'd be weird.
We do a date on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't do Friday night dates.
I think Thursday, because this is the first time that I don't really have anything in a while, I think I'm going to go to the Comedy Attic Thursday and just hang out. So anyways, nothing this... we're just like talking about plans on the podcast now. We're just like, what do you feel like doing? What do you want to eat? So the 23rd, this is brand new information that I'm very excited about. I put it on social media, but February 23rd, I will be at Zany's in Nashville. It's one of my favorite clubs. I love this place so much. The staff is amazing. I just love being there. The club is so great. But I'm actually going to be there taping for TV. So the Grand Ole Opry has their own TV station called Circle TV, and I'm going to go film a little TV spot for it. So really excited. Another cool thing is, like, just a couple hours after she booked me for that, I was talking to my very good friend, my road wife, AJ, and was talking about how I got it. So then he was like, man, I got to get through there. I was like, well, talk to her about like doing like Dusty's show or something. So he was messaging about something completely different, talking with her. No, he messaged her to see if like on a weekday, me and him could come do our 2-man show. That's what it was. Gotcha. He wanted to go do that. And then after they were talking for a while, she booked him on this show too, so he's going to come to the taping too now, and he's on it. So that I was stoked about that. A lot of comics like get like territorial or like almost jealous about that kind of stuff. I'm stoked. Yeah, that's my boy. Like I'm so excited.
You gotta bring your people up.
100%, yeah. So then February 25th, I'm going to be in Springfield, Michigan at JB's Whiskey Old Style Grill. And then the 26th of February, I'm going to be in Nashville, Indiana, at the Story Inn. I hear great things about this place. I hear that that it's haunted. So yeah, somebody was like, "You and Chia should stay in the haunted room," and I was like, "No, just because we like that stuff doesn't mean we want to be a part of it." Like, no way, dude. So then, March. I don't have this in the calendar yet, but March. I think it is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I'm at Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama with Jason Mewes.
Yes.
So it'll be me, AJ Wilkerson, and Jason Mewes. I was supposed to be in Wisconsin with Andy, but you know, when the commander calls, you know what I mean? So if you're anywhere around Huntsville, Alabama, come out to these shows. Jay's so awesome. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I'm going to be there. And then I have a couple other things that are in the works, but another like really important show that I'm really excited about is March 27th. I'm going to be at the Bardstown in Kentucky. Me and AJ are our 2-man show there.
Yes.
So this is like our first actual booking of the 2-man show. Really, really stoked about that. So there's some other things that are coming up. I will say, pretty happy to announce I now have a agent / manager.
Yes.
I have a manager now. Me and AJ actually have the same manager because we do everything together now.
Because you're friends.
More than that. So she's been fantastic. She's helping us get some stuff. I'm stoked about it. So really good things are happening. Really fun things are happening. Very, very excited about all of it. So hopefully I'll see you guys at some shows coming up. You have something you wanted to talk about because you said that you wanted to do the podcast because...
Oh, well, there's a reason, yeah.
So...
Let's talk books.
Yeah, I know we sound, just so everyone knows, we probably sound like garbage right now. But we were just in a very cold state, extremely cold state, and then in the car for like 10 hours, probably more than 10 hours.
And then came home to a freezing room because we turned our heaters off since we'd be gone all weekend.
Yeah, so
so it's slowly warming up, but my feet are frozen right now. So let's talk some books.
All right.
I'm at 10.
You're at 10?
My goal is 20, and I'm at 10 already.
I'm honestly, the fact that it is the second month of the year and you're halfway through, I'm very proud of you. That is dope.
Thank you. I don't know what I talked about last time. I think maybe I did mention that I had finished the 5th Among the Hidden series, or it's the Shadow Children series, which was Among the Brave. I've now finished the 6th book, Among the Enemy. So I'm very excited because that means I only have one book left. So I'll finish that series this month.
And you've never read the whole series. You just read the first book. So this is your
I've read the first book 2 other times.
You know what you need to read? And I've said this before on here. Ender's Game.
I know. That's a dystopia book, isn't it?
Yeah, it's futuristic, yeah. It's not really... well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Because that's what, like this book, and then on my last book rescue... I got some more dystopia, at least the first books of the series. Kind of into those books right now. I don't really like post-apocalyptic because they like freak me out a little bit, but dystopia is pretty cool.
I like both.
Yeah. So I haven't started the 7th book yet, so I'll either start that after the podcast or probably tomorrow sometime. I'm still reading my ebook and still listening to the 6th Harry Potter book. It's taken me a while. I'm not in the car very long by myself to really enjoy it. So, but when we came back, I noticed that my mom had brought in the mail, of course. But I don't know if I talked about this before. Whenever I left my previous job, my very good friend, Katie, she gave me a gift. And it was a 12-month subscription to the Book of the Month Club. So every month I get on my app and it gives me about 5-6 books that I can choose from. And then I just get that book in the mail. At first I thought, this is going to be an ebook. No, it's an actual hardcover book They're very nice. This one's called A River Enchanted. I kind of like this because I don't know what these books are about. Mm-hmm. Like, it gives a description, but that's all I really know. And I'm just super excited just to get to read a random book. I got my sister a 6-month subscription for Christmas. I think it's a great gift for anyone who loves books. So, again, that's the Book of the Month Club. So I got to open a book, and then while we were gone, I didn't go to the book shelter this time. I went to the
Barnes and Noble.
You
went to the breeder.
I went to the breeder. I did.
Well, I guess that would be the printing shop. So technically it's not the breeder. It's
this is the bookshop. Yeah, instead of the pet shop, it's the bookshop. Went to the bookshop and I bought the first book of the Ranger's Apprentice series. One of my friends, Krista.
That's the same dude who did the Rick. It's the.
No, I don't think it's Rick Riordan.
Oh, see, I thought it was like the Percy Jackson books. No. I thought it was like another thing that was kind of like that. You don't have to get it right now.
We're talking about it.
Okay.
Hold on, friends.
All right.
I'll find it.
She's just walking around looking at stuff now. All right.
It's by a guy named John Flanagan.
Okay. I wonder if the people who did the cover for Rick Riordan or whatever.
Rick Riordan, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same one because that's what that looks like. I thought for sure that's what it was.
I got the first book. I have a lot of first books of series. Again, I absolutely love series. Mm-hmm. Everyone should know that by now. If you're new, just so you know.
Yeah, you're like a completist with things like that.
Yes. Well, I'm a completist anyways with like video games and stuff. That's why I'll play a video game for a real long time and then set it down if I haven't completed it. Like, what is it, Mario Odyssey? Yeah. I technically beat the game.
Right, but you didn't complete it.
I haven't got all the moons yet.
Right.
So it's not really finished.
See, and that is such a hard thing to be as a completist in video games. Yeah. Man, because you want to talk about some time.
But that's why, we got to send my Switch in because we haven't yet, but that's why I don't ever play, is because I need my own Switch that I can play when I want.
Yeah, and you can take it to work with you, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it'd be great. So I'm at 9 books so far.
Oh, dang.
So, yeah, I'm at 9.
Better get to reading.
Yours are way longer than mine. I'm not going to lie. Yours are a lot longer than mine.
Here's what we discovered, though, last year. It doesn't matter, because, these Shadow Children series, the longest book has been 220-some pages. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the year, our Goodreads app shows us how many pages we've read. Right. So it's okay, I read over 30 books.
I don't know what that really matters, though.
I don't either.
Because the Stephen King books that I read a lot of times are thousands and thousands of pages.
Yeah.
I get just as much satisfaction of finishing a Batman graphic novel.
Yeah.
Sometimes way more.
Oh, yeah.
Because Batman is so
Well, I'd get way more just because I feel like I accomplished something in a decent amount of time.
I think the reason that I'm really into reading the graphic novels right now is because I felt so just drowning in page count with all the books that I've been reading for the last couple of years, to where I was just man, I just need to cleanse the palette. I need to just run through a bunch of them. Yeah. And I do like it a lot. Here's kind of a cool thing that happened is I had somebody reach out to me after listening to the podcast last week and was basically hey, I've not read a book in a long time. As a matter of fact, I've only really read 2 books in my whole life, but I would like to read more, and I think graphic novels would be a good place for me to get into it. So, do you have any recommendations for me? So, talked with them a little bit about what are you into and stuff like that, so I could throw him a few different options. And if we talked about it, if that's something that you guys are interested in, hit us up on Facebook, just on Jake and Chia Rubel's Blessed Ones. Mm-hmm. Just comment on there and be do you have any recommendations for me? We can talk and probably find you a book you would be into. Because I'm all about literature, however you can get it. Yeah. Whatever's going to get you into reading, read. Mm-hmm. I was talking to someone not too long ago, and they were what do you do when you just you feel you hit a wall with reading? Because sometimes you'll be like that. Yeah. You just won't want to read. Mm-hmm. And I read a Goosebumps book. Yeah. I know they're for kids.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But to me, it's nostalgic. I read most of them whenever I was younger. I loved the Goosebumps book, and I still do. Like, they're pretty cheesy.
Oh, yeah.
But the stories are cool.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue is very cheesy. Mm-hmm. But the stories are really cool. And it's not like the dialogue can be, like, amazing. The dude wrote, like, 50 a year.
Right.
It was kind of ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, that's something I would do. So just find your Goosebumps, I guess.
Yeah.
Find the thing that you can read really quick and easy. You don't really have to pay that much attention to it. And just maybe that'll get you back into reading. I don't know.
Reread a book that you loved at one point, or go back to a series where you know the characters and you love the characters.
Yeah.
Because that'll start to kind of fuel that fire.
Yeah.
And you might have to push yourself for the first 50 to 100 pages. Whenever, not last year, but the year before, when I was really pushing myself to start reading again after, being in nursing school and being in college period, that's what I had to do, is I had to push myself. And then, it was like that spark hit again. And I was like, okay, I want more of this.
Okay, so... moving past that, let's talk something about what is happening to my. Let's talk something about words and things in the Englishes. What we've been watching.
Yes.
So we finished NOS4A2.
NOS4A2, yes.
It's my second viewing. Without spoilers.
Yes.
Give us your quick snippet review of the show. And before you do that, I want to say a couple things. Technically, this is not a vampire show. But Chia loves vampire stuff.
I do love vampire stuff.
Always has.
Yeah.
So I was curious what your thoughts were going to be on this, because it's technically not a vampire show.
Right. I like anything with monstery type things.
Yeah.
So, and they use the term NOS4A2. If you're looking it up, that's NOS4A2.
Shut up. Just shut your mouth.
But
we find out later
why. Yeah. So.
In the last season.
Yeah. Well, there's only 2.
Oh, yeah. I
keep
feeling like there's
seasons.
3.
But I really like it. I like the blatant use of imagination in it.
Yes.
I love how it's very thrill-seeky. It's written by what's his name? Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's son. There's some things in Stephen King's movies and stuff that I don't like. And Joe Hill did a little bit of that too that I don't like. I don't like sexual violence.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Well, that's good. I don't think anyone does.
No, but so that's actually one of the reasons I'm hesitant to read Stephen King's books. Stop.
I'm just thinking of somebody. I like it when they mix the violence with the sex.
What was that on?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I like it when they mix the violence with the sex.
I really, and I can watch it on TV a little bit, but whenever I'm reading it.
Yeah, reading it is hard.
So that's why one of the reasons I've always been hesitant to read his books is because it deeply disturbs me.
Yeah, and he goes.
Yeah.
Hard in the paint sometimes.
Yeah.
So to speak and literally to speak.
Yeah. So, there's, I forget, I think it's James Patterson. He has a series, I forget what the series is called, but one of the movies is Along Came a Spider, and then the other one is Kiss the Girls.
Right.
So those 2 books I read, and they were pretty good.
Is it the same with, no, that's, okay, never mind. I was thinking Long Kiss Goodnight, but that's a different thing.
Okay.
Kiss the Girls and Long Kiss Goodnight, I always got mixed up.
Oh.
My bad.
So there was a 3rd book, and I started reading it. Automatically involved 2 little kids.
Was it it's not Alex Cross, right?
Yes, it's the Alex Cross series, yes. I had to stop. And even though the older 2 were bad and there was some stuff in there, they were adults.
Right.
The second one, Along Came a Spider, does involve a kid, but that kid's getting kidnapped, so it's not really sexual violence on the child. The 3rd book, I was like, no, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of sexual violence in NOS4A2. but I didn't feel like it was as graphic as what some of the Stephen King things I've seen is.
Well, the majority of it, though, hinted that something happened.
Yeah.
It didn't show it.
Yeah.
It said it later.
Yeah.
But it was like after everything. So, like, it wasn't in your face about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't the majority of the show.
Right.
It's not like the show was centered around that.
Yeah.
So I did like it very much. Now, it ended with the second, the finale of the second series, or second season. And there's not going to be a third one.
Which is such a bummer.
I actually am completely fine with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you feel like they would have ran it into the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
I 100%, and they even said the ratings started to drop off, and I could see why.
Yeah, because it felt, it's like, oh my, okay. Like,
that never should have been a plan to be a long series. The second season, the finale, I guess it's okay the way it ended, but I think if they would have known that was the last one, it would have
they would have ended
been a little better.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to read the book now.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
To see really where that went.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to make a series out of one book.
I agree. I'm sure it is, yeah. That was a good little quick snippet, Chia.
How long was it?
I don't know. That was a good quick snippet.
I went off of the rails on a book tangent.
No, we're good. I mean, that's why.
What else we've been watching?
So for years now, anyone who's listened to even like more than 2 episodes of this knows that we love Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
big Star Wars family. For years, I have wanted to watch the animated series. And there's multiple ones, but specifically Star Wars: The Clone Wars, because people have told me, they're like, dude, you love Star Wars, and these are such great stories, and I'm like, I don't like the animation, I just don't like it, and I bet I watched the first like 2 or 3 episodes 50 times over the years, because I would try to start it and I just couldn't get into it. Well, here recently we were like, you know what, we're doing this. So we were like, okay, we're going to watch this whole thing. And we watched like maybe like 7 or 8 episodes of it. And then for whatever reason, we kind of forgot that we were doing it. Like something else came out and we're like, oh, we got to watch this. So we started getting back into it this weekend. And I will say everybody was right. After it, now it's taken me almost the entire first season to get past the animation.
We're on like episode 19 is what I meant.
I was like, what?
19. I seen the number 19 in my head.
Yeah, you just forgot one. It is really good. If you like Star Wars, it is really, really good. There are some fantastic stories in it. I love that they're going to all these different planets where you get introduced to all these different characters that you see in the movies, but they're only in it for like a moment, and in the show they can like really flesh them out, so to speak.
And that's what this actually takes place between episode 2 and 3.
Right.
So in episode 3, that's when you see a lot of snippets of different characters, different Jedi, and you're like, well, who's this random?
This lets you know who they are.
Yes, exactly.
So I really do like it. It's pretty cool. Like, I feel like people who look at us, like if they just meet, they would never know. Like, I don't, because we are like hardcore dorks, geeks, whatever you want to say.
Baby, if they look at us, they might not know, but the second we talk,
they're
like,
these people are,
I see.
Nerds. And then I've been on, like, if I'm watching TV, so that's what we've been watching together, and then Chia is going back through Supernatural on her own.
I couldn't wait for Jake anymore. I kept waiting, and he's like, I'm not ready yet, so.
Yeah. So, and I like doing it like this because you can, like, I can just pop in every now and then and watch them with you. But the whole family's watching it.
Yeah.
Chia's sister's watching it with her son.
My nephew, yeah.
Roman started getting into it, so now Roman is watching it. And then since Roman was watching it, he talked his Nana into watching it, so now Nana's watching it.
Yeah.
Holden doesn't like it. It's too scary for him.
He doesn't like anything really scary.
Anything that's even remotely scary, he's not into, which is totally
Which I was
fine.
like that for a long time.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I would rather him be like that than try to like force it and then be uncomfortable. So I'm cool with that. But it's nice because I could just like pop in and watch it. But I've been consuming everything Batman.
Yeah, you have.
Like, I'm just on such a Batman kick right now. I accidentally clicked on The Dark Knight the other day. I was like scrolling through Netflix or HBO or something and just clicked on The Dark Knight, Chris Nolan's movie. And I was like, okay, Chris Nolan, because he's my homie. Jeez. I don't know why you said it like that. We go back. It's not a big deal. I know Chris Nolan. We used to hang out at the deli down the street. We'd go out to get a couple of salami sandwiches, and we would just talk about Batman. So I started watching The Dark Knight, and then since then I watched The Dark Knight. Then I watched Dark Knight Rises. Which I'm glad I rewatched that. Whenever we first watched it, I loved Bane, but I didn't like the movie that much.
Oh, really?
But I think it's because of how much I liked The Dark Knight.
Okay.
That movie was so good.
Yeah.
That was like the Batman movie I always wanted.
We watched that when it first came out on Blu-ray.
Back to back.
Yeah. As soon as it was over, we were like, let's watch it again.
Yeah.
We've only done that with one other movie since we've been together, and that was Mad Max
Fury Road. So I watched Dark Knight, then Dark Knight Rises, and really, really, really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. And then I went back and watched Batman Begins, and then I watched the Dark Knight Rises Part 1, or not, Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2, which is the cartoon movies. I say cartoon movies, but it's animated. They're so good. Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're so good. And then I think I watched The Long Halloween Part 1 and Part 2, which is also, that's like my favorite Batman story. Yeah. It's really good. But I've also been reading a ton of Batman. I'm just like obsessed with Batman right now.
And you're reading, or you're watching the animated series right now, right? Yeah. Which is something that I want to watch eventually, because that is where Harley Quinn first appears. She didn't first appear in the comics. It was in that cartoon. Yep. So.
Yeah. So we, by popular demand, something is about to happen. Okay. This is by popular demand.
And now, time for TOTS. The topic of the show.
Oh, that's right, baby. TOTS is back. Topic of the show. I didn't plan on doing this, to be honest with you, like an hour into an episode that we're already doing. But you know what? You asked for it, you're getting tots, baby. Tots. Oh, tots are everywhere. Look at all the tots. Show me them tots. Okay, calm down. You're getting a little out of control. So, tots is something that we used to do. Topic of the show. We used to do this all the time, where I would come up with a topic, or Chia would come up with a topic, and then we would usually not tell the other person what the topic is, or the other person would know, and it was like a quiz or like a test or something like that.
I have no idea.
And it was a fun thing. Chia did not know until this very moment that I was going to do tots.
Surprise!
And tots this week is 10 of the craziest unsolved mysteries in history. Ooh. Mysteries of history. History mystery, if you will. Welcome to the History Mystery. So, this is coming from Distractify.com. Okay. So, Distractify.com. So, if you don't like these, or you think these are stupid, or you think these are made up, guess what, friends? I'm just reading it. I'm reading an article from September 4th, 2019, okay? It was updated at 11:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wouldn't it be funny if I just read, like, the facts of the website and nothing else?
Never read
And I was just like, thank you, this has been TOTS. So, this is the 10 of the craziest unsolved mysteries in history, okay? So, let's get started here. Let's talk about... Okay, now, I'm going to say this real quick, and this is going to be about the website, because I feel like the website has, like, a weird way of... I like numbered things.
Oh, I do too.
Like, if you're saying 10, do 1, 2, 3.
Or do a countdown. Start with 10.
Start
whatever,
with 10,
but-
yeah, and then number 1 can be the craziest. But it's a little bit wild. So if this gets a little bit obscure, that's not the word I was looking for. Askewed.
Askewed.
Then blame Distractify. All right, so let's get started here. Have you ever heard of a gentleman by the name of D.B. Cooper?
Yes.
What do you know about D.B. Cooper?
I know D.B. Cooper, supposedly him and somebody else, they robbed a bank, I believe. I don't know how much money it was, but D.B. ended up, I think he was supposed to bury the money or something, but he just disappeared.
All right, so on Wednesday, November...
Don't do that. Just read in your normal voice.
No.
Oh, God.
This is... Welcome to TOTS. Out Chia.
Can you say that on here? I think we may cut the rules.
Okay, calm down. Okay. All right, here we go. On Wednesday, November 24th, 1971, a man who'd only identified himself as D.B. Cooper hijacked a plane flying between Portland, Oregon and Seattle, Washington. Right after the plane took off, he handed a note to the flight attendant that said he had a bomb. And you can't say that on a plane.
No.
You're not allowed to. Maybe this is why. Technically, he didn't say it. He just wrote it down. But don't do that either. He then demanded $200,000, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle. When his demands had been met, the plane landed in Seattle. Passengers and flight attendants were let off the plane as it refueled, and soon the plane was back in the air with only Cooper, the pilots, 1 flight attendant, and a flight engineer on board. After takeoff, D.B. Cooper opened the door and parachuted out of the plane. Neither he nor the $200,000 were ever heard from again. In 1980, a portion of the ransom turned up in Tennebar, near Vancouver, Washington. The FBI's list of suspects was long, but they investigated the case without success until 2016, when they decided to suspend it. In the meantime, D.B. Cooper has become a sort of folk hero and legend, and subject of several novels, comic books, films, and TV shows. In 2018, a group of former FBI investigators claimed to have discovered the real identity of D.B. Cooper. They believe that D.B. Cooper was actually Robert Rackstraw, a Vietnam vet and a suspect in the FBI's original investigation for a short time. For most, however, the case of D.B. Cooper remains inconclusive and probably always will. So
I thought he always robbed a bank.
no,
Okay.
he just jumped on a plane one time and was like, "Psst, hey, I have a bomb, give me some money." And they're like, "Here's the money."
Probably
and
didn't have a bomb.
And he was just like, "Oh geez."
What?
Yeah. He was like, "This is a prank. What do I do now? Oh my god, I gotta go." So they
He's
jumped on the
living
plane.
fat somewhere. Or he was. He's probably dead by now, but...
Yeah, so a lot of people think that he died like jumping out of the plane, and that's why they never found it, because he'd like jumped over the
I don't think so.
like a dense forest. I don't either. I mean, I think he made it.
Yeah.
You know, I like how they're just like, he's a folk hero. How's this cat a hero? Like, hero's a bit of a stretch, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A dude got on a plane, threatened a bunch of people for money, and jumped out of the plane.
Yeah.
And they're just like, "Pff, there he goes.
That's what America does, though.
People just look at it, there he
make
goes.
heroes out of scumbags.
There he goes.
People be like, I'm going to love like Bonnie and Clyde. I'm like, you know they died, right? And they were horrible people.
So, okay, so here's the next one. This is called the Voynich. Voynich. It's Voynich. Voynich.
Voynich.
I think it's Voynich.
Voynich.
Voynich, maybe. The Voynich manuscript. So linguists and historians have been able to translate so many different ancient alphabets and decoded countless ancient texts. The meaning of the Voynich manuscript, however, continues to elude scholars to this very day. The handwritten manuscript has been dated to the early 15th century. The text seems to be written from left to right, and there are many illustrations and diagrams that seem to accompany the writing. But that's as far as we've gotten. No cryptographer, not cryptocurrency-tographer. It's not a person who's taking pictures of cryptocurrency, which is really just taking a picture of a computer. No cryptographer or codebreaker or linguist
Linguist.
How many people about words? You know what I mean? How many people about words? Obviously not me. I ain't one of about words.
Obviously not enough either because they can't figure it out.
Right. None of them have been able to decipher what it says. It seems from the illustrations that the manuscript might have something to do with early medicine, but even botanists have had trouble identifying most of the plants that are drawn on its pages because it's so impossible to understand. Some people have surmised that the whole thing might be a hoax or work of art or entirely made up language. That's what I was going to say. Like, they found an old piece of paper that some little kid wrote on or something. You know what I mean? No, this is what it is. It's an ancient and I'm looking at it, and here's a picture of it. So it's like really pretty handwriting. It looks like
There's
a lot
doodles
of loops.
on it.
There's doodles on the side where they're just like, oh, what's this pictograph? It's like somebody was bored in class. Like, this is
That
where
looks like just a very simple flower that you just...
That's 100% what it
Yeah.
is. Somebody was on acid and wrote some stuff down.
Yeah.
And then they were like, that's trash. And they just threw it away. And then we found their trash. And now people are like, what is
Manuscript.
this?
It's a scrap piece of paper.
You know, that's what I think sometimes. Like, what if you died, like, I think we may have talked about this before. I don't know. But, like, if you die and, like, okay, let's say, for instance, I die. Mm-hmm. I die today.
Yeah.
You don't seem too upset about it.
I mean, I expected this.
If I die
How's that Mountain
today
Dew?
wearing, if I die today wearing what I'm wearing now, and in like 200 years they take a look at my body and like the remnants of my clothing or whatever, and they're just like, this is what the typical person was like. That's so false. Like, that's not. Like, I don't trust any of this stuff. You know what I mean?
I thought about that before too. Like whenever they find like skeletal remains and the head's all misshapen and stuff, and they're like, oh, so this person must have been a part of a sub-humanoid species, and I'm like, or they were just deformed because
Right.
their mom ate some kind of weird plant to get high, because back then they didn't know, don't eat that plant. Like, you don't know that that's what everyone looked like.
Parents still be eating plants. You know what I'm saying? All right, so here's the next one. This one right here was the reason why I wanted to read this article. Have you ever heard of the Green Children of Woolpit?
No.
The Green Children of
I'm
Woolpit.
gonna be scared.
I don't know what scares you and what doesn't, all right? Sometimes the
face.
weirdest things. 2 children with green skin appeared in the village of Woolpit in England at some point during the Come on, at some point? Like, they couldn't even say when it was. They're just like, dude, it was sometime a while
Because
back.
these are
These 2
stories
green
passed
kids.
down. This is when they pinpoint it to this time frame.
Well,
but
the 12th century. But I just like
Yeah.
I just like how they're like being descriptive, and they're just like, at some point some kids showed up. They were brother and sister, spoke a completely unknown language, and only ate broad beans.
Okay.
Eventually, they lost their green hue when they started eating other foods. The girl explained that they had come from St. Martin's Land, which she claimed was a subterranean community full of green people. How creepy is
Whoa.
that? Yeah. Now, this very old story could be a myth, a fairy tale told through the ages. But 2 separate writers reported the arrival of the green children when it happened.
So these buddies were writing a fictional book, and
So-
you're taking it as fact.
No, like, I believe this. I don't know if they like lived in like underground. I don't know if they were mole people per se, but like, it sounds to me like 2 people showed up. Okay, so here's 2 options. One, it's true.
Yeah.
These 2 kids showed up out of nowhere because like maybe their parents died or something, and they showed up, and they were living off these beans that they had, and that turned their skin green after a while. Or there were some kids in this village that didn't want to eat anything but the beans, and their parents were like, if you eat just those beans, it's going to turn your skin green, just like that brother and sister.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like one of those things.
Maybe. A story to scare the kids and
Yeah,
eat
who
what they're
knows?
supposed to.
Who knows? All right, let's move on. The dance plague.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Have you?
I've heard of this.
I've never heard
yeah.
of this. So what is it?
So supposedly there was a plague that made people just dance. I Yeah.
I
It
got
made 'em
ants
dance.
in my pants.
And I think there's actually accounts of this happening in a few different places.
Okay, so can you imagine starting to compulsively dance and not being able to stop yourself? Apparently, that's what happened to about 400 people in Strasbourg, Alsace, I don't know, in July 1518. I didn't know that the Grateful Dead played back in the 1518, because that's what happened. They heard the Dead, and they just, you can't help it. You're gonna
I was
move.
thinking maybe they got
You
the Holy
wiggle.
Ghost in there, like, ooh, Jesus.
Yeah. Ooh, Jesus. Was that what you sound? Ooh, Jesus. I'm out. It began with Miss Trophea. The woman began dancing energetically in the streets for about 5 days non-stop. Within a week, 34 other people had joined her, and by the end of the month, nearly 400 people were dancing crazily and couldn't seem to stop themselves. Some even died from heart attack, strokes, and exhaustion. Theories include poisoning by a fungi. And it sounds like she was the fun guy. She was like, come on, let's party. A fungi known to have psychoactive effects, again, Grateful Dead, mass hysteria, and supernatural causes. Only one thing is certain: it would really suck to be struck with this. Dancing is fun and all. Okay, shut up.
Yeah, just tell the story.
Yeah, like,
Don't
why are
put
you
your
trying to
input
be?
in.
I'll be the funny guy. You know what I mean? I'll be the funny guy. But that's wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what, dude. Nature gets weird sometimes, though. Like, you don't want to know the thing that freaks me out the most, and I don't know what it's called, and I should probably look it up. This thing creeps me out, probably more than almost anything in the entire world. Is that little parasite? That, like, what is it? It like gets in like an ant or something. It'll get in like one insect.
Yeah.
And make that insect hang from like a blade of grass to like another animal will eat it.
It turns them like into a zombie.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, I think it's like it'll get in like a bug, and then that bug like hangs from a blade of grass until like a rabbit will eat it. And then
It gets into the rabbit's brain.
yeah, because the only way it can like reproduce is like through the rabbit's brain or something like that. So it has to get in there somehow.
Yeah.
So it devised this way to trick something else into doing. That's the scariest thing.
Yeah.
Because if it happens on a small scale like that, like what happens whenever it gets that little thing is just like, I'm gonna run the country. I'm gonna run this world. I'm going to space, baby.
Maybe
I
it's
don't know.
from space.
Maybe it is from space, and maybe that is what happened. Maybe that is the Illuminati, and we just don't know. Ooh, don't say that. Like, now they heard us.
Now it's out there.
It's out there. It's out in the open. All right. SMU-28. You ever hear of this? Mm-mm. SMU-28. Sound like SMU. SMU. You know what I mean? This U-boat, which was used by the Germans in World War I. Don't shake your head like you know what I'm talking about.
I know what
now.
a U-boat is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I do.
It's just the fact I started saying this and you just started nodding. You're
I'm
like,
like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, that is right. That is right. Yeah.
Have you
boat.
ever heard of a U-boat?
I've heard of a me boat.
I remember U-boats because we learned about it in U.S. history in high school. And for extra credit, we would have to do a drawing of whatever we were learning about.
Yeah.
So I didn't always participate in the extra credit. But this one was fairly simple because I just made U's and water and people in the middle of the U, and it was a U-boat.
Yeah, you're the reason our kids suck. All right, so this U-boat, which was used by Germans in World War I, fired a torpedo at the British steamer SS Iberian on July 30th, 1915. The ship sank under the waves, but then her boiler exploded and debris flew everywhere. That's not all that was sent flying, though. Here's the mystery. SMU-28's captain, chief engineer, navigator, helmsman, engineer officer, and a seaman all saw a giant crocodile-like sea creature shoot into the sky and writhe That's a weird word. Writhing's a weird word.
It is weird.
That's so
It's
stupid.
like squelching.
Yeah, you hate that word so much. And writhe in the air among the ship's debris. They estimated the creature to be about 65 feet long, with 4 limbs and webbed feet, a long pointy tail, and a pointed head. It was only airborne for a few seconds, so they weren't able to take a picture, and the sea creature was never seen again. That
sounds prehistoric.
Yeah,
right there.
that's a big sea creature to never see again. Now, maybe this is made up. Like the time when okay, so this is where the guy's going to be like really funny again and be like,
yeah. Just keep
listen
going.
to my joke I'm going to make to ya, huh? Mm-hmm. That's what people think about me, though. All right, let's keep going. Oakville blobs. Mm-mm. You're not into this?
No, I've not heard this.
Oh, I thought like it freaked you out. I'm
No.
like, you're scared of you're married to one. Like, how are you that scared of
Don't
them?
say that.
This is a recent one.
Okay.
This is right here. This one is it's 1994.
Oh.
It's pretty recent. I was there.
We were alive.
I mean, I wasn't there, but I was in the 94. Okay. A resident of Oakville, Washington, observed that strange gelatinous blobs had rained down during the night. In the next 3 weeks, there were 5 more incidences of raining blobs. Within a day or so of the falling blobs, many people in proximity to them fell violently ill.
Well, yeah.
What do you mean, well, yeah?
Well, if there's a blob coming from the sky, get away from it. Like,
You think they're like walking up, they're just like, is it cotton candy?
they're probably like poking it and stuff.
Just
Yeah,
licking
touching
it.
it with their hands. And then, it's the 90s, and not everyone's hip on hand hygiene. They're going to touch it, go get some French fries, eat the fries, lick the ketchup off their fingers, and then, they're going to get sick.
And there was at least one person that like knelt down on all fours and was like, what's it taste like?
For
and
sure.
just licked it.
For sure.
Just licked it. Someone's
I'm
weird
not
uncle.
surprised that
Someone's weird uncle.
I'm surprised that some blobs were coming from the sky. I am not surprised people got sick.
The samples collected were tested by a doctor who said that the blobs contained human white blood cells, but had no nuclei.
Okay.
What's nuclei?
That's the powerhouse. That's like the middle of the cell.
Okay.
You know when you had to do those in science class?
yeah. That's the thing that binds it together, right?
Yeah, it's like,
It's like the foundation.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't show me anything.
I'm just gonna show you real quick.
Not asking for. I needed one quick answer. That's all I really. I don't need you to put on your cap. All right.
I'm just-
you take the cap off, Professor. We don't need that.
Just look at it. It's fine.
Would you just look at
Okay?
it? I'll look at it, but you gotta hurry.
I am.
People don't care about
so
this.
it's right there. It's in the middle of the cell.
That's the Death Star. So, anyways, and it says, and that was that. We still don't know what these mystery blobs were. Theories include the idea that they were waste from an airplane toilet or dead jellyfish that somehow made their way into the sky. But we'll probably never know. Mm-hmm. Oh,
That's
stuff like
space
hold on.
poo.
That's a space peanut. Doesn't stuff like that happen a lot though, with like fish raining down and like weird things?
I don't know.
Because it's saying like jellyfish somehow got in the sky. Now explain that.
But wait, didn't it say there's human white cells?
Yes, there's human white blood cells, but maybe jellyfish have human white blood cells. What if jellyfish are what we turn into eventually?
Well,
Like reverse evolution.
well, I don't know.
I don't know either, and it's not true. Okay, so but that is something I want to look into like more, because I've
Okay.
heard of people like fish just falling from the sky and stuff like that, and I'm like, and I know that like like the water evaporates and goes up in the sky, and like it's in the
doesn't
clouds, and then
carry
it
a
rains.
fish with it.
That's I'm like, how big of a drop of evaporation went up? I don't. It's like elevators. I don't know. I don't know science. All right, so this one's called the WOW signal.
Okay.
On August 15th, 1977, Ohio State's Big Ear Radio Telescope. Who named that? That's rude, because I bet what it was is that the guy that made the telescope had big ears.
See,
And they were just like, check out Big Ear over
I
there.
automatically thought of an ear of corn.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's because you weren't a bully in school. Ohio State's Big Ear Radio Telescope received a super strong signal that seemed to come from the constellation Sagittarius. And if you know anything about Sagittarius, you know they got big old ears. And it indicated to those studying it that we were not alone in the universe. How have I never heard of this? Astronomer Jerry R. Amon wrote "wow" next to the recorded data, and since then it's been known as the "wow" signal. So he wrote "wow" next to it. That's what the "wow" is.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I was thinking like an alien sent it back, and they were just like, "Wow," like look at y'all done did it. Y'all done heard us. The signal lasted 72 seconds and has not been detected since. While many have tried to explain away the origin of the signal, saying it must have come from Earth somehow, no theory has ever been proven correct.
Hey, by the way, we're idiots.
Why?
Big Ear Radio Telescope.
Uh-huh.
Big Ear Radio.
Oh, like, 'cause it's hearing it.
Yeah.
It's hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it itself is the big ear.
Because that's how listening works. I get it. I get it now. We're such idiots. We're reading all this stuff. We're just like, wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Do you? Sometimes whenever I hear stuff like this, I think it's time travel. Like whenever they get like a signal back or something, I'm like, what if that's something from the future or from the past?
Maybe.
And they're like, oh, it came from that galaxy over there. And I'm like, what if that galaxy over there is just us in like 150 years?
Maybe. We'll never know.
We might know.
No.
We might We probably won't. The Baghdad Battery. The Baghdad Battery is a set of 3 artifacts that were found together in
Baghdad?
Yes. Baghdad.
I just want to know if that's where it was found.
Yeah, the Baghdad Battery was 3 artifacts that were found together in modern day Iraq. Mm-hmm. Calm down. The artifacts are a ceramic pot, a tube of copper, and an iron rod. It is believed the objects date back to the Parthian period between 250 BC and AD 224. AD. I just like saying, I like, instead of 224, if you have AD before it, I like to say the number because it sounds cool. AD 2224. It sounds like Star Wars.
Is this going to be weird because those 3 things should not be together?
A pot, a tube of copper, and an iron rod?
Yeah.
Well, hold on, let me finish, because some think that the object was a galvanicus.
Let me look at it.
It's galvanic. I think it's galvanic, right?
I can't
It's right here at the top, right there.
Okay.
Galvanic, yeah.
Galvanic, yeah.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Cell, a type of primitive battery that could have been used for electroplating or electrotherapy. So people were just like plugging this thing in and just zapping each other with it. They're just running around.
What's this?
Yeah, like they didn't use it for anything useful. They just like plugged it in and started like zapping their kids.
It's useful.
Yeah, they're just like, get out of here. Go and get you. Hit you with the battery pot again. I'm going to get you with that battery pot. You better get on out of here. That's actually how they sounded back then. This would be extremely impressive, seeing how his electricity wasn't widely harnessed for practical use for a couple thousand years later. Yeah, we know, dude. Okay, so this one is the Tamim Shud case, is what it says. Tamim Shud case. Unsolved crimes really fascinate this person. That's what they said. They're like, unsolved crimes really fascinate me. I don't like how this article goes from just like giving us details to this person being like, be my friend.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're putting like their own twist on stuff every now and then to where it's just like, I'm the one writing this. I'm still here. It's like, we don't need you. We just need the screen, dude.
Right. Just give us the story.
So the Tom and Shud case, it says on December 1st, 1948, a dead man's body was found on the beach in Australia. In his pockets, there were several train and bus tickets, a comb, a pack of juicy fruit gum, a cigarette pack, and some matches. The labels had been removed from his clothes. He carried no ID, and his dental records didn't match any living person. An autopsy found that his spleen was very large, his kidneys and stomach were congested, and there was excess blood in his liver's vessels. While poisoning was the main conjecture, there was no foreign substance found in his body. A little while later, a little piece of rolled up paper was found in the fob pocket sewn in the man's pants. The piece of paper said, Taman Shud, which means ended or finished. The phrase is found on the last page of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. I don't know what that is. The police tracked down the copy of the book from which the paper was torn.
Oh.
They called a telephone number written in the back of the book and got a hold of Jessica Thompson, a nurse who claimed she didn't know the dead man and wanted to be left out of the investigation. Seems to me like she maybe knew more than she was letting on, but police agreed to leave her out of it. Shut up, dude. Get out of here. He's like that friend that just like you want to hang out with him because they have cool stuff, but then they keep being like, "Hey, dude, you want to like? Can I play?" And it's like, dude, let me play with your toys, and you just sit over there.
That's awful. God.
Okay. While there have been many different theories and a number of positive identifications of the body, none have been conclusive. So, yeah, that is kind of crazy, but it's not like that weird.
I know. It just
That
sounds
just sounds
like
like
he
a-
was an immigrant and something happened to him. Like, well, yeah.
It sounds to me like the whole "it is finished" and all that stuff. This is 1948. I would say like the mafia or something killed this cat.
Maybe.
Like there was a group of people. He did something wrong, and they killed him.
He did something right. Why does he have to do something wrong?
To them.
To them, okay.
That's what I mean. Like he did something to them.
Jeez, Jake, poor guy.
I am a poor guy. All right, the Mothman. We know about the Mothman,
Okay.
right? Did you ever have you watched that movie with me, right?
No.
You've never seen the Mothman Prophecy with Richard Gere? It's a good flick. You may be aware of the Mothman from the Mothman Prophecies or any other numerous pop culture examples, but do you know how the legend of the Mothman started? Well, you're about to. In November of 1966, 5 men who were digging a grave in a cemetery. Why is it taking 5 people? I've never seen 5 people digging a grave.
I've seen one with a backhoe.
Well, they weren't doing that in the 60s. In November of 1966, 5 men who were digging a grave in a cemetery in West Virginia claimed to see a pan-like figure with wings fly over their heads. I've never heard the Mothman referred to as a pan-like figure. Are we talking like cooking pan or Peter Pan?
I'm very confused.
Yeah. Shortly after, 2 couples from Point Pleasant in West Virginia also claimed to see the creature. They described it as gray with red glowing eyes. Sightings began to increase in the area, and then on December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge collapsed and killed 46 people. Over time, many started to connect the bridge collapse to the Mothman, and a true legend was born. Some believe even the initial reports of Mothman sightings were hoaxes. True believers think it's an alien or supernatural being. We might never know the real origin of the Mothman, but at this point, does it even really matter? It's a staple of pulp culture, a larger-than-life entity, and a super spooky character. But also, people around Chicago have been seeing the Mothman as recently as last year, so maybe it's still out there. You were really into that. You were very into that.
I've got to tell you something, and it might make you mad, but I just discovered something about myself.
That you can zone out whenever I speak.
Hold on. You know how I tell you not to do that voice? I'm like, just use your regular voice. I just figured out why.
Why?
Every time you do that voice, I do start to zone out.
Yeah.
It's because I start like,
Regretting life choices?
no, it's not your voice.
Okay.
So it feels weird.
Oh.
And it like screws with my head. I think this probably has something to do with my undiagnosed ADHD.
Probably.
So then I'm like, this person's not even really here.
I don't think I'm that good of a voice actor.
But So then I had to watch your mouth just now and
I
focus like he's really telling me this.
I will say this. When I stopped reading and looked up for my phone, you looked like you just seen a ghost. The look on your face was terror.
It kind of freaks me out.
You looked,
I was like...
you looked so freaked out. And it's not even a good... Like, it's still me.
Because I started
like,
to zone out, and I was looking at you, and I just kept...
You were so freaked out.
I just kept thinking, who's that voice coming out of him?
It's not even that good of one.
But it's weird.
Well, thank you very much for listening to this episode of Laugh and Be Blessed with your host, Jake and Chia
Like your
Rubel.
lips are moving.
This is just how I speak now.
People really think I'm high right now.
People think you're always high. What if my voice got
really
stuck
don't like the
this?
voice.
You don't like this voice?
No.
Should I do something else?
Like, it's better when you do your college girl voice. That's
Okay.
more your personality.
Listen. Listen. Have you heard of the Mothman?
Yeah, I like that one.
Listen, okay, so like Brianna came over the other day and she was like, listen, like she's been talking to Jared, so like I've been like just get to stepping. But the thing is, I'm sure kids say that still, right? I don't know. But she comes in and she's like, I seen this pan-like creature just flying up, and I was like, girl, you talking about Peter Pan or Cookie? I can't keep the voice. I don't know. What if I went deeper?
No.
What if it was like this?
I don't like
You
it.
don't like that?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Why?
No. I don't know. I just don't like it.
Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed TOTS. Chia didn't.
I enjoyed TOTS. I
freaked
just don't
you
know
out a
who
little.
else was here with us.
I like whenever we're doing kind of creepy stuff for me to do like a little creepy voice with it.
I know.
But it's working. It creeped you out, and that's the goal.
Yeah, but I had to stay in this room with you.
All right. Hey, if you guys have any ideas for TOTS, we like doing it. And thank you, Amber, for requesting us to bring it back, because that was fun. I do like doing that. So, before we go, well, if you... don't whisper talk to me while I'm trying to do a thing.
I mouthed words to you.
That's a whisper talk.
No.
Yeah.
I'll text you next time.
No, don't do that either. Just don't distract me. Or I'll start talking like this more often.
Stop it.
If you have a topic for tots. Topic for tots? If you have a topic for topic.
That's what you just said.
Yeah. If you have a subject you would like us to talk about, go to Facebook, Jake and Chia Rubel's Blessed Ones, and just comment on there and just be like, hey, you guys should totally talk about this. I think this would be cool. And one of us will get into it and then just like explain it to the other person, because that's the fun way of doing it. Mm-hmm. So before we go, though, we do want to say a very special thank you, very special shout out. Shout it from the rooftops, baby.
Thank you to the Patreon Blessed Ones.
Yeah, thank you, Patreon Blessed Ones. Thank you for being Blessed Ones. We love you guys so much. We super appreciate everything that you do. Chia, who's the Patreon Blessed Ones?
Who are they?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm not good with list. There's Anonymous. Lindsay. Rachel. Danielle. How many is there altogether?
You tell me.
Jared. How many am I missing? Is there 9?
I think you're missing 3.
Oh, 3. Pam.
Oh, you're such a jerk. We love them so much.
I know who this is. Oh, the Rubadues?
No.
No.
One of them.
Oh yeah, Rubadue. And then I've only got.
She's not a Rubadue anymore, though. So
Veronica. Yeah. Oh, Shannon Fawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't like you as much as me now.
Well.
They like me more now.
Is that it? There's 8?
As of last time I looked, that's it.
Okay.
So, thank you very much to the Patreon blessed ones. Thank you for blessing us and helping us to bless other people. We love you very much. It really does. Like, I know I say it like every episode, but seriously, guys, thank you very, very much. We really, really appreciate it because it just shows that you're supporting the show and that we should just keep doing it.
Yep.
So, thank you. And for the people who want to jump in and help us keep the show going, if you go to patreon.com/laughandbeblessed, you can jump in as well. So thank you guys so much. We love you. You're amazing. Come see me at a show. Sometimes Chia's with me. So all the fun stuff. And yeah, give us some topics. Let's talk about some stuff.
Yes.
Let's get into it. Let's get weird. Let's get kooky. Let's get creepy.
Don't get creepy. He uses that voice.
So until next time.
Jacob Tyler, stop it.
What?
I don't like it.
You don't like this voice at all?
Do you want a new co-host?
No.
Stop it.
But I'm just getting started.
Fine.
In a world where Chia no longer listens to my voice, now she's going cross-eyed across... Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah.
You look so gross when you...
Good.
Like, because when you... Like, I don't like when people cross their eyes because it's making fun of people with cross eyes. And you're a jerk.
No, I'm just doing it because I know it bothers you.
You know why?
Because I look ugly, and that's fine.
No, it's because when you do it, somehow your whole head gets skinnier. I don't know.
Goes, what?
Your whole head, it's like your eyes are attached to the side of your head, like by strings. And whenever you move your pupils in, it brings your whole head in, and you get like pencil head.
Well, are you going to do that voice?
Maybe. No, okay, stop. All right, so yeah, let us know some topics. Follow us on social media, all that stuff. We love you guys. Keep listening to the show. This is fun. We like doing it.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So have a great week, and just if nothing else happens this week, just remember that it's up to you. Your destiny's up to you because you're the only one that can
Laugh and be blessed.